Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
And I am Stacey Earlywine, and we are thrilled to be here, and we are so excited to get our own show.
Yes, so exciting. So this has been in the works for a while now.
A little bit. And should we tell them exactly how we came to be?
Sure, let's tell them.
Well, Beth and I have been working together for quite a few years on shows and things. So we raise money for our Florida Depot. And several times we go on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Oh. And so we're in there, and it's like, man, that was really fun. And so Beth and I are like, I think we could get our own show. Do you think we'd be good at this? And apparently we are two peas in a pod, because we did both. Look at our shirts. Did we both pick polka dots? No. I walked in the door and I'm like, are you serious? You have polka dots on.
The thing about Stacey and I is that we a lot of times are thinking alike, even when we're not trying to. So
exactly.
We didn't talk about what we were going to wear today. We just walked in and surprise,
and here
we're
we
both
are
in polka dots.
And when you talk about thinking alike, that's not really a good thing for you.
Or maybe the other way. Maybe not for you. I don't know.
It might be, but we are so happy to be here. Our show is called By the Way. And what we want to do is we want to focus on the history of Clay County. Beth and I both love history.
Yep.
I think, Beth, do we have the same love affair with old Victorian homes?
Oh, my lands, don't get me started on the old Victorian homes. I love the old houses.
Yeah, we do love them. It's so funny, like on Facebook, you'll see, and it'll be like this house come out, and Beth will be like one of the first ones to comment, and I'm usually second. Oh, they're glorious. We just love that. So that's what we want to bring to you. We want to bring to you local history, people, things that we maybe have forgotten.
Yeah, there's a lot that has happened in this county, not just Flora, not just Louisville, but all over the county. And we're going to talk about events and maybe some scandals and old houses and who used to live there and what they did for a living and what happened to them and their families, and maybe some vintage items thrown in here or there.
Yes, you can see our set is a little vintage, and so things will probably change. We may change things out, so you'll want to tune in, so you'll never know what we might say or what we might do.
Right, because we love anything from the past interests us. So that's kind of what our show is going to be about, by the way.
So we hope you are all having a glorious day so far. And first thing is I found this. I love auctions.
Oh, I love auctions too.
Do you miss the days of auctions?
Yes. Why aren't there as many as there used to be?
I don't know.
When I was a kid, my mom and dad drugged me to auctions all the time, and it was always hot. And I was always really bored and thinking, why are we here?
Right.
But you know what? My mom and dad still have a lot of the stuff that they bought at those auctions, and they're like my favorite things.
Well, so I remember the days mom would drag me to an auction also as a little girl, where you could buy a box of goodies for like 50 cents. Do you remember that? And now it's online, and I am not technically savvy whatsoever, so I don't like doing the online. There's nothing like just standing there with your number and bidding, and the same person outbidding you every time. You're like, okay, no, I'm going. I'm going. I don't care if I break the bank.
Yeah. I get really competitive at an auction, and I'm like, I know I told myself I was only going to spend $100, but I know I'm up to 1,000, but by golly, I'm going to win.
That's true.
Yeah, I get competitive.
One time I called Jim, and I was at an auction here in town. And there was an old, you remember like the old radio cabinets that like had 8-track cassette records, you know, let's go back to the vinyl, which they're coming back now, but they're so expensive. But anyway, and so it was so fun. I was sitting there, I'm like, oh my gosh, and it was in mint condition.
What was it?
It was that
the actual cabinet.
The actual cabinet. Yeah, I still have it in my house. And I'm like, I'm going home with this. I don't even care what has to happen today. So I called Jim and said, empty out the truck. He said, oh, Lord, what is she doing? I said, there is a cabinet here. And I said, and I'm bringing it home. And I only had to pay like $60 for it. Nobody really wanted her.
That's cool.
And there was nothing like bringing out the old disco records that day. Because I had records that I hadn't played for years, because you don't have record players anymore.
Right.
And now they're back with a vengeance.
There was like a disco party going on at your house that night.
Yeah, there absolutely was. It was phenomenal.
Fun.
It was so much fun. But yeah, those auction days when you'd be driving home on a Sunday afternoon after eating lunch, and you could just hear that going on and be like, where's the auction?
Yeah.
I miss it.
I miss it too. There's been a few, but I'm also not a fan of the online auctions. I have participated in some, but I feel like things go for a lot more money online. There probably there's a bigger crowd, so more people are bidding. True. But and that's good for the owners who probably want to get as much money as possible. But for me, that's being
good for the owner, bad for the buyer.
That I'm looking for cheap antiques. It's like,
Well, and you have to stay on that. You have to be on your phone or whatever device you're. And then I'd be like, okay, it's got like 15 more minutes, and then at the last 2 seconds, somebody jumps in and. Where if you're live, you can be like, oh, I don't think so, Betty. That is not happening today.
Right.
And there was always, I don't know this little lady's name, but there was always every auction I went to, and she was always number one card.
Oh, really?
Always number one.
Oh.
And she stood, like if Colonel Paul was right here, she stood right there. And it was always like, doop. Doop. I think she had a.
She bought everything. How long ago was that?
Oh, my gosh.
She might be getting ready to have her own auction. Maybe it's time to go back and get those things.
I'll have to call Colonel Paul today and say, do you remember the lady who was always number one? Yeah, but that was so funny.
Fun.
That was funny. But we chased a rabbit on that one, didn't we? Welcome to By the Way.
Yeah.
And by the way, this, years ago, I was at an auction and I got all these Better Homes and Gardens. Can you zoom in on that, Beth?
Sure. See
if we can zoom in on this. Okay. Better Homes and Gardens, okay? All right. Now, this magazine is from July 1952. Ooh. I'd say the old girl looks pretty good. She's a little curled up here, but this thing, oh my gosh, 1952. How old does this make this magazine? Is that do math, Beth?
You're the math. So like 71 years old. Is that right?
Wow, that was quick. 71. She is 71 years old. She is literally 60 years older than myself.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
But anyway, so I found this jewel. And I love this. I got to put my specs on because I am a little bit older now. So we thought we would bring things to you from these old Better Homes and Gardens. So this is July 1952. This magazine was 25 cents.
Oh my gosh. How much, if we went to the store today to buy a Better Homes and Gardens magazine, it would probably be at least $7.99, probably $10.99. They are high right now. Magazines are crazy high.
Are you serious? They're that high? Gosh, I haven't bought one for a long, long time.
Yeah, well, they are high.
Oh, wow. Well, this little jewel that I was going through and I found, okay. This is amazing. This is from Only Pacific Makes the Contour Sheet. Okay, Beth, I just want this. Let's just focus in a little bit. Okay, black and white. I think we're coming into focus now. You might not be able to really see too much about what I'm holding here, but I'll read this to you. But the pictures, let's see. The pictures are amazing. Okay, so you can definitely tell it's the 50s.
There we go.
We're in view there. But look at this little lady down here. Isn't she fantastic? Which these magazines, all these ladies,
they're size zeros.
Oh,
little bitty waist.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And how did they do that?
They never had McDonald's.
Yeah, you're right.
That was it.
Yeah, McDonald's. Yeah, that's
true.
No
McDonald's, no preservatives in any of their food.
That's true.
And they worked hard all day long.
But they did work really hard. But I love the way, right here, she's folding these sheets. These are fitted sheets, people. Who folds a fitted sheet that perfectly? I wad mine up in a ball.
I don't know. I wad mine up too, but I watched a little short video the other day on Facebook on how to fold a fitted sheet.
Really?
Uh-huh. And this little gal, she made it look so easy, and she just laid it out, and she folded in the corners, and then she bloop, 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 and it all went together into this perfect square. Mm-hmm. I think it was magic. I tried to repeat it, and I was like, I'm just wadding it up. And also, I think the sheet that she folded was a tiny one, maybe a toddler-size sheet or a twin. And less fabric's easier to fold, but my sheets are queen size.
Yeah, and
That's a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like this.
I'm just, people used to have to iron their sheets too.
Oh my gosh, they did. They talk about that. So this is what I loved about this, because I am of age where I am going through menopause. Okay, so the first thing it says, for coolest summer sleeping. Okay, so a fitted sheet, right? And number 1, ordinary flat sheets wrinkle as you toss and turn, make you feel hotter and more restless on a warm night.
Oh my.
Oh my.
So they have the cure for...
They have the cure, ladies.
Okay.
They have the cure. A contour sheet keeps you far cooler, more comfortable because it stays smooth, wrinkle-free all night long.
Oh, wrinkle-free.
Well, my sheets might be wrinkle-free, but this face is not anymore. But it's the wrinkles that are making us hot, girls.
Oh.
4 fitted corners and a shape tucked under anchor. The sheet, so it won't wrinkle, can't pull out.
Oh, my.
Well, my husband would beg to differ. See, Jim and I don't know how you and Jason are, but Jim and I, his side of the bed looks like he just got out of the military. Mine is all the sheets are literally pulled up from the corner. If there's a fire, I told Steve Pride the other day, if there's a fire, come get me first, because I am wadded up in a ball and I'll never get out of my bed. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that my fitted sheet ever comes off of the mattress, but I'm definitely like all the covers are on my side of the bed and Jason has none.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad about that, Jason. I really, really do. I don't know how it happens. Like, I even go to bed at night and I think, I'm not going to pull the covers off of him.
Tonight's the night.
It
Not
never
doing
happens.
it. No, me either.
No.
And then it says contour sheets wash easily, fold compactly, sanforized to fit like new. After washing, ironing is optional.
What is that word? Sanforized?
Sanforized?
See, they didn't even speak the same language.
I don't know. Available in a combed percale and sturdy muslin for double, twin, or crib-size mattresses. Youth bed size in muslin, but only Pacific makes the contour sheet.
So, wow. So in that picture, does it show like the bed, like 2 twin beds in there?
It does. This is crazy because in this picture, there's like a mommy-daddy bed, 2 twin beds, and there's a baby crib.
Oh, they had a 1-bedroom house and a lot of kids.
They probably, in the 50s. But I just think that is the most fascinating thing.
Yeah, you know, the cool thing about these old magazines is like a sneak peek into the past.
Absolutely.
Like how their lives
They're fantastic.
were. Like, it's just so different
They're
than today.
fantastic. So that's going to be our openers and maybe our endings. And I don't know if I get to talking about my menopause. It's going to probably be through the entire show. But I think that is just fun. Good old Better Homes and Garden.
Yes.
And I believe the front cover is spectacular.
Yes.
That's good. We don't think we need to. That is fantastic.
Yeah,
well,
I love
Beth, I don't know if you know this, but it's time for our first commercial break.
Oh, okay. Let's go to break and we'll be back in a few minutes.
All right.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
Okay, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey.
Oh, yeah, we didn't go anywhere.
We didn't. We're still here.
Yes. So this is season 1, episode 1.
Season 1, episode 1.
Oh, gosh, we feel so fancy.
Yes. So one day when we're on Netflix, you know.
Is that our goal?
Oh, yeah, that's our goal.
Our goal is Netflix.
Just kidding. We're happy right here.
So. Well, Beth, you know, we've got a lot of stuff to cover.
We do.
We have a lot. I'm telling you, I haven't even begun to dive in, and I'm sure my partner in crime hasn't either. Mm-hmm. And already it's overwhelming what happens in small communities.
Oh, right. And there's so much stuff that has happened that people just have no idea that happened in our little old town or our little old county, and think, you know, there was a lot that went on here in the past.
Oh yeah, it's every time you flip a page, it's something different.
Oh yeah,
and I love the what is it? You know you're from Flora.
Yeah, you know you're from Flora, Illinois page on Facebook. I don't know if any of you have checked that out, but there's a lot of old photos posted on there and interesting little blurbs about things from the past.
Absolutely, yeah. Pictures. The pictures are phenomenal. And we have pictures along with our show today also, but it is very, very, very interesting. And you would think after literally living in... Now, Beth, you were raised in...
Yeah, so my family's from here, and I lived here until I was about 4, but then we moved away to Harrisburg, Illinois. Okay. So I grew up down there and moved back here when I was in 8th grade. Okay. So I was gone for a while, but still basically... Yeah. From here. Yeah, family was from here. I was my grandparents.
Born and bred, born in Olney, and then I've lived in Flora. There was a 3-month period in 1987 when my parents let me go live with my sister Diane, who moved. She left Flora back, I think, when she was like 18 or 19 and moved to Panama City Beach.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Diane lived down in Panama City Beach for about 10 years.
Okay.
And then Diane is 9 years older than I am. She might kill me when she realizes that I told my sisters nobody's off limits on this show, by the way.
Yeah. So you lived in Panama City, Florida.
Yeah, Diane did, and my parents let me go for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
But at that time I'd also met Jim right before I was getting ready to leave. So
you came back.
So he came back. But so basically I've literally lived in Florida my entire life. Okay. Right? I mean, I've lived in like 3 houses. The house that my parents lived, we moved in the house on South Locust Street when I was 2.
Okay.
And I was there, and then Jim and I, when we first got married, we lived on Clan Street, but we were only there for just a tiny short period. Oh. And then we bought our house in 1990.
Okay.
That we still live in today.
Okay.
So, yeah, wow. I'm very sentimental. I've come to realize that I'm very sentimental. But I thought for our first episode, it would be fun to focus on famous people.
Oh, yes, because there's been a lot of famous people that have came to Clay County over the years.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and we probably don't even know half of them.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even going to cover all of them today because there has been others that have came in just for a quick concert or something. Yeah. But we won't probably touch on all of them. But
well, I think it would be interesting for you guys to know that Herbert Hoover...
Yes.
The president. Now, Beth, what number president was Herbert Hoover?
He was the 31st. The 31st president. He served from 1929 to 1933. So he was the president that was in office during the Great Depression.
Yeah.
So the stock market crashed while he was in office, and everyone basically, I think, blamed him. Mm-hmm. He was very unpopular, not very well liked, and not reelected. So he came to Flora shortly after he lost the election, I think.
He came into Florida. His first visit was November 1928. He was traveling from Washington, D.C. to California, and he stopped in Flora.
Okay, so I bet he was campaigning at that time for the election that he did win.
Right.
Okay.
And they said that there was a crowd of over 5,000 people came, and he was at the depot.
Oh, my. Okay, so the depot there in Flora.
Yep.
He was there. And 5,000 people, man, that
Yeah.
would be like half the county of today's population. I don't know what it was in the 20s.
Well, yeah. I don't know. But yeah,
probably
5,000
more.
people. Yeah, a crowd of 5,000 people. And the craziest thing is Mrs. Hoover was given a basket from Clay County grown Grimes Golden apples.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me because Flora was full of orchards at that time.
I see you acknowledged me on that. I had no
Yes.
idea.
Yeah.
So how many of you out there knew that we had Flora was full of
the
that?
whole county actually was full of orchards, and also south too. That's how Orchardville got their name. That's why the college that was in Flora was called the Orchard City College. There was a lot of orchards, and I don't remember exactly how many, but like the majority, I think there was like 20 or 30 orchards in the city limits of Flora alone.
Well, that we'll have to cover that on.
Yeah, that's for another show. But
because the only
there's
orchard I ever knew was Ray's Orchard over in Clay City.
Yeah, but there was a tree disease that went through, I think in the 1930s, along with a drought or something. I'd have to look it up, but there was like multiple reasons why all the trees died. That's why we don't have any now.
Yeah. So she was given this beautiful basket, red, white, and blue.
Aww.
And then the Hoovers stopped again 4 years later in November on a very, very rainy day.
Oh.
And they were also given apples grown in Clay County, and they were Stark's Delicious.
Okay.
And they were presented to them by Della Gill and a card from Cecil Palace.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, so the Hoovers not only, it makes you wonder if that stop at the depot between Washington, D.C. So this must have been the first time he was going to be elected, said 4 years later. So that must have been on his campaign trail going to.
Yes. Yeah, I bet
because
you're
he
right.
was like going from Washington, D.C. to California.
Yeah. So Mrs. Hoover's name was Lou. Her name was Lou. She was a Henry, Lou Henry. Yeah, she married him, Lou Hoover. I didn't know her.
Now,
I mean,
which
some first ladies you always remember their names.
Yeah.
Her, I was like, I never even heard of her first name before.
I didn't know. Yeah, I mean,
anyway,
you've got the
Lou.
main ones, but yeah. So I just thought that was really, really interesting that we had
A president.
because we did have. Now we're going to have to put our thinking caps on here.
Okay.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a president who had passed away?
Yes.
And stopped at our depot. It was on the
he
depot.
came through in a coffin, and I think, oh gosh, I wish Ron Ayers was here. He would tell me which one it was.
Man,
But
I want to say.
I think it was Eisenhower.
I wanted to say Eisenhower or Roosevelt.
I don't think it was Roosevelt.
You don't think it was Roosevelt? Yeah, so we're going to have to look that up and find out.
2 presidents that we know of.
that we
have
know
been
of.
here. That's pretty cool. Little old Flora.
I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
And now this. Oh, can you show us our picture of Mr. Hoover?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we have this beautiful picture of Mr. Hoover.
Actually, no, I didn't have.
I
didn't have Hoover.
Oh,
no.
okay.
That's
All
right.
right,
Oh,
well-
no, I did. It's just
There
on a
he
different
is.
line.
There he is.
Yeah, that is President Hoover.
Yes.
So he looks like a nice man, but rather worried. So I'm
Right.
sure the Great Depression had him tore up.
Can you imagine?
I can't imagine the anxiety.
I can't imagine it.
And presidents, you've seen how much they age during their terms.
Absolutely.
Holy
yeah.
smokes.
Yeah,
Poor
and
guy.
it's real easy for us to sit back and be judgmental. We have no idea what happens behind the scenes.
He had a lot on his plate.
He did. He absolutely did.
Yeah.
Now, I love this next guy, Robert Wadlow.
Okay, here's
Look!
a picture.
Seriously.
Yes, this is him and his father. This is him and his dad.
The world's tallest man from Alton, Illinois. He visited Flora's International Shoe Company.
Yes,
of
he did.
course, we will cover that building in factories
Yes.
from the past down on South Main, the shoe factory. So he came to visit that. He was 8 feet 11 inches tall, and his shoe size was a 24.
Wow. I've seen a picture of his shoe. So he only lived to the age of 22. So
Really?
sad. Yeah, he was born in 1918 and he died in 1940. Wow. And by the age of 8, he was already taller than his father. I mean, can you imagine like having an 8-year-old little boy and it being like that big?
Well, I'm wondering how you would even discipline him.
Yeah, I don't know. They said he was very, very strong. He had a disorder of the pituitary gland, so he had what they call hypertrophy of the pituitary gland, which was causing him to have way too much growth hormone. And it makes me wonder, and I don't know, but like if he were to be born today, if they could treat that.
Oh, I
you
bet.
know, like
Yeah.
like slow down the pituitary gland and like
I
give
would
him
think
some other
so.
hormones to counteract the growth hormone.
I
Don't know.
I would
Good
think
question for
so.
a doctor. But
That is.
he. Well, wait a second. You know how he got famous? The Ringling Brothers Circus like made him like kind of like a freak show.
Are you serious?
But it is said
Wow.
that he was never a sideshow. He was always in the center ring, as if that was made it, as if that made it better.
Yeah.
But anyway, he got tired of that, and he felt like he wanted to do something more with his life than be something just to gawk at. So he got into advertising with the International Shoe Company.
That's
how he came
neat.
here, because
Yeah.
then they made him shoes and stuff, and he traveled around and spoke for them. That's
Well, I don't know if you mentioned earlier when I mentioned that I was going through menopause, but I'm glad Ringling Brothers isn't around because I could probably be the bearded lady.
no,
anymore.
no, don't go there.
anymore.
There's things to help with that. No more bearded
Absolutely.
ladies.
But this was interesting. One of his shoes was on display at Man's Shoe Store, and it was filled with marbles. It was filled with marbles, and it was like a contest to guess
Oh.
how many marbles.
I wonder how many
marbles were in there.
How many were there?
I don't know. Nobody ever. I don't know. I don't know who won the contest. I remember
Oh.
Delman's shoes.
Poor guy. I mean,
Yeah, but I
feel bad for
yeah,
him.
I know. That is great.
But it is
something-
interesting.
It is very, very interesting.
they called him the gentle giant.
Yes.
He's supposed to be a very kind person.
Yeah. Do we want to let's hit on we have 2 minutes. Let's hit on
Okay.
3 Dog Night.
Ooh, okay. 3 Dog Night.
Yeah.
These guys
Yeah.
right here. How cute are they? Look-
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. How fun are they? Look at
Look at
that.
that. I
You
love
know,
their clothes. Like,
I do
okay,
too.
Look, let's discuss the center guy. What's on his shirt? Is it,
It-
birds?
it
Dragons?
looks like-
kangaroos?
I
don't
think
know.
it's deer jumping.
Deer.
It looks like deer to me. But you know what's terrifying about this picture, Beth, is my husband probably has those same clothes in his closet.
And he's probably still wearing them.
He probably,
So-
well, you know, he's subbing at the school today, so he went in his red, white, and blue
Okay.
suit. And by the way, just to know, I will pick on Jim every episode we have, so he's a fun one to make fun of. But
Yeah,
so 3 Dog Night was out
Yeah.
there, and
They came and did a concert at Charlie Brown Park.
yeah.
And-
My husband was a member. We had the JCs at that time, and he put me out on the highway, and we were like guiding people in. I had traffic backed up on Route 50 because I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? How are you? And I had conversations with literally everybody. My husband comes barreling down from Charlie Brown Park on back then a 3-wheeler, and he was like, Stacey, quit talking to everybody and send them through. The concert's starting in 5 minutes.
I can hear him now.
So I
saying
got
that.
fired.
Oh.
My husband fired me from that super fun job.
Yeah.
It's so mean of him, but
Bummer.
yeah, that was a great
Yes.
concert. But yeah, 3 Dog Night. What some of the best harmonies.
Yeah. They did. They really were really
And
talented.
Bill Oliver, I loved Bill Oliver was one of my favorite people, and he was one responsible for getting
Oh, okay.
3 Dog Night there. And well, we're going to have another commercial break, and we are going to come back with some more famous people. So stay tuned for By the Way.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Give me order lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas,
What?
you better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new want to transfer money so your future will look sunny? Call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be.
Clay County State Bank.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey.
Awesome. All right.
Okay,
you
so
have somebody?
there was more
Okay.
people that came to Clay County that were famous people. I remember Spencer Christian coming. He was the weather guy on Good Morning America in the 80s, and he came for the Is We Is parade.
Yes.
And
Which was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal when we did Is We Is. That could be a whole other episode.
Yeah, that'll
on the
be a
whole-
fun one to
yeah,
cover.
Yeah, but just quickly for those of you that are watching that don't know what Is We Is it was like a rap video put together by some members of the community in Flora to try to persuade the governor at the time to build a prison in Flora.
Do you remember
because
the
we
jingle?
needed the jobs. Do I remember the jingle?
Is we is
or
or is we isn't gonna get ourselves a prison.
Yeah. Oh, I had the vinyl record, and I thought it was
Bring
so
it over
cool.
later. We'll play it on my console.
Loved it. But anyway, it was a big deal. We made the national news, and Spencer Christian from Good Morning America came and spent the day in Flora, and he was so nice. Everyone that met him loved him, and I have a picture of him right here. And he's just the nicest guy. And somebody messaged him not very long ago on Facebook, and like I think they sent a picture that they had taken with him while he was in Flora, and reminded him of his time here. And he wrote back, and he said that he fondly remembers Flora, and it was one of his greatest memories from his time on Good Morning America, and how lovely our community was, and everyone was so nice.
That's wonderful. Isn't that great?
Yeah. So from a guy who's probably lived most of his life in a big city, dealing with like a lot of corporate stuff, and being on a big news channel, and he loved our town.
You know what's funny is for all of you that we travel a lot of places, it is shocking to me. Anywhere I go, and they'll be like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'll be like, "Oh, a little town in Illinois," and I'm like, "You probably never heard of it." And I'm like, "Flora, how many people know Flora is on the map?"
Yeah, people have heard of it.
They absolutely have. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did like Jack and those guys? Did they go on Oprah? Or was
No.
was Overstreet? Are you sure Charlie Overstreet didn't go on Oprah with that?
I don't think he went on Oprah. I think it's possible he was on Johnny Carson.
Okay. We'll have to
But I don't
check
know.
into that and find
Yeah.
out. Or if anybody out there,
Yeah, let us know.
let us know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was really thinking that Mayor Overstreet, Charlie Overstreet, was it, and he played the Boss Hogg character. So cute.
Yes.
And I was thinking that they were on Oprah because I feel like I watched it, but I don't know now.
So you know who else came to Flora?
Who?
Well, actually, it's Clay City. This guy.
Roy Rogers.
Happy trails.
Happy trails to you.
Yeah.
1940s. Made an appearance at the Clay City Clayton Theater, which was another eye-opening moment for us.
Who knew that Clay City had a theater?
Absolutely.
Not me. Had no idea.
I didn't either. It was owned by Mr. and Mrs. Jim Levitt.
Okay.
And what's great about it was like before the movie started, they actually brought in live entertainers.
Oh, okay.
Live
So-
entertainers came in, and they would, entertain the crowd. And Beth and I had this conversation the other day. I'm of the generation that going into the movie theater, we watched cartoons.
Okay. Not
Like
me.
Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner cartoons.
Those
that
played before the movie.
Those played before the movies because you
Okay.
didn't have previews.
Okay.
We didn't have previews. So what were you?
In my day, we had previews.
There's a big difference.
I don't remember a time without a movie without previews.
I
but
think I'm 12 years older than you.
10 or 12.
Yeah, I was born in '67.
I was born in 79. So now you know how old both of us are.
I am an open
But that's
book.
okay. I'm an
so-
open book too, and I don't care because I celebrate my birthday big every year. And I tell everybody
betcha.
I'm alive and it's my birthday and we are going
You
to
betcha.
smile and have a good time.
That whole birthday month is a real thing. I love,
Yeah.
if you don't have another birthday, you're kind of dead.
Yeah.
So birthdays are a good thing.
birthdays are good.
Birthdays are good. But yeah, Roy Rogers. So yeah,
He was kind of a cool guy. I think he must have been kind of in his heyday about the time he was here.
Mm-hmm.
He was in so many movies. But Roy Rogers was not his given name, which, I mean, if you think about it, it has a really nice ring to it. I mean, obviously, a lot of celebrities that have a really cool name that just flows off the tongue, they made it up themselves. So his real name?
What?
Leonard Sly. Sly. Like a fox. So,
Really?
that doesn't sound like a good old cowboy name. Like, he
Leonard
can't be the
Sly.
good guy if his
Yeah.
last name's Sly.
It is funny. I wonder where he got
So-
Roy Rogers. Where do they come up with those names?
I don't know. But guess how many kids he had? 9. 9 kids. Some of them were adopted.
Dale Evans.
Dale Evans was his wife.
wife?
That everybody remembers because he starred with her in a lot of shows, but he was actually married 3 times.
Oh,
So when he was young, he got married once, and they were only married for 2 years, and they got divorced. Didn't work out. Wasn't the right one. Then he married a lady named Grace, or Gracie, I think was her name, and loved her. He was married to her for 10 years, but sadly, they had like 2 or 3 kids together, but the last child, she died in childbirth.
Oh my.
Can you even imagine?
No.
So no, me either. Anyway, after that, he met Dale, and I think they were also meant to be and lived happily ever after.
Yeah,
but
I did not know that.
But yeah, kind of sad about the second wife. But anyway,
It is, isn't it? But you said a lot of his children were adopted.
some of them I don't know how many.
Yeah, 9 kids is a lot of children, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but back then, people had big families.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
probably was not as unusual as what it would be
Right.
today.
Right, absolutely. And I think that this next gentleman, Alvin C. York.
All right,
This-
Sergeant York.
Sergeant York. This man
Look at that
was
guy.
impressive. The most decorated World War I veteran. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He was born in 1887, and he was a soldier between 1914 and 1918. Apparently, he was known for silencing machine gun nests, which I'm not really sure what that is, but like he kept everybody hidden, and whenever they're like their machine guns, like our troops, he was able to silence them, where then the enemy could not find where they were shooting from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was really, he is absolutely and he came to Flora. He was doing a goodwill tour.
Yeah, I think after the war, he traveled around and was greeted, and people loved to see him and hear from him. And he was a big name. This was a long time ago, so kids today probably Sergeant York doesn't really ring a bell, but it was a really big deal at the time that he came to our town. He was quite celebrated, and I think he was a Quaker, and didn't. He was some type of religion where he didn't really believe in war. And then,
That's right, he was
and he didn't
anti-war.
really want to do it. But then when he was, I think, drafted or forced to do it or something, then he was just like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right.
Right.
And he put his whole heart into it, and
Yeah.
was like one of the best military men in our history.
Yeah, I did read
So-
that. I did read that where he was totally against war, and but those days they would have been drafted. Correct. I'm not sure.
I don't know on World War One. I don't remember.
Did they draft
Wasn't
people?
here.
I wasn't. Well, I wasn't here either. But still, I feel like it was just. Of course, back in
I think
World
a lot
War
of people
One
signed up.
and World War II, it was probably just a thing that you did.
Yeah,
When there was a
lot
war,
did. I know
when-
they drafted in World War II, but I don't know
When Uncle Sam
World War
called,
One.
or it was a glory thing. But yeah, for somebody who did not believe in war, he sure did. He saved a lot of people, and like I said, he did a goodwill tour. I bet he was a splendid man.
I think he was.
I bet he was.
Yeah.
I bet he was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So,
Gallant. Just
Yes.
one of them. I picture him being just, bigger than life, but soft spoken, but carry a
Yes.
big stick
yeah,
kind of
let's
fella.
take a look at him again, because
Yeah.
I think what a good looking guy
Right?
he was. He stood really tall. He was like
Yeah.
over 6 feet tall. Yeah, I think he was a force to be reckoned with for sure.
I think you're right. Yeah,
I think he had red hair, maybe like that.
Yeah.
You know what they say about redheads? They're fiery.
They're
and-
fiery.
and
Yeah,
passionate.
Yeah, I gave birth to one of them.
Oh,
yeah.
did you? Yeah.
Yeah, Connor.
Yeah.
They are fiery and passionate and hard to control. But yeah, no, he was he was wonderful.
Guess how many kids Sergeant York had?
How many?
More than Roy.
13.
10. He had 10.
Okay.
He had 10. But here's the interesting thing about his kids is that he and his wife chose to name them after historical Americans.
Really?
Yes. So he had a son named Thomas Jefferson.
Wow.
He had a son named Andrew Jackson. And he had a daughter named Betsy Ross.
I
mean, that
would
pretty
be
cute,
your
really.
favorite.
Yeah, I love Betsy Ross. So those are the only ones I wrote down. But
Wow.
Yeah, he had all of them named after famous Americans, which is kind of cool.
You think that if he was alive today and had daughters, they'd be called Beth Cooper and Stacey Earlywine?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe they're great grandkids.
Yeah, that would be. But he was, and what's funny about him is there was a movie made, and it was called
Yes.
Sergeant York, and Gary Cooper was the lead in that movie. And I YouTubed it the other night, and it
Did
was.
you? Was
I
it good?
did. Yeah, it was quite. I mean, it's
It's old.
It's old.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, it was really cool.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, it was.
Because I really don't know like a ton about his service, what exactly he did.
Yeah.
But for them to make a movie about him, I mean, it must have been pretty fantastic.
It had to have been. Yeah, he was larger than life, that's for sure. So I just think it's pretty interesting. Of course, then just off the top of our heads, Tracy Lawrence.
Oh, right. Yeah. Tracy Lawrence came. That was in like the
country
90s.
singer. Yeah, it was the 90s.
There was another one.
Oh, shoot. He had dark hair, always wore it combed back.
Yes,
He showed up late. Remember? That was almost a scandal when he showed up.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He was supposed to start that concert out at Charlie Brown Park. Geez, I can't remember. He was like 45 minutes late getting there. He performed for like 40 minutes and left.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what is his name? Darn it, Beth.
No, we'll have to Google it.
We
during the
will have to
commercial
Google
break.
that because I got my picture taken with Tracy Lawrence, but I didn't even know who Tracy Lawrence was because I don't listen to, I'm a 70s girl. I'm a disco
I love the
girl.
70s
I love
too,
the
but
80s.
I love Tracy Lawrence. And I actually met him at the Grand Ole Opry a couple of years ago and had my picture taken with him there.
Did you? I
He's
found
a
the
super
picture.
nice guy.
Going through some old pictures and things, I came across and actually this is funny. I came across the picture. I'm like, well, who's this handsome young fella back when I didn't have wrinkles? Who is this man? And Jim was like, that's Tracy Lawrence. Remember, he came to the fair, and I'm like, I didn't even remember who. Yeah, I did.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Oh, Head East.
Head East.
Save my life, I'm going down for the last time. I had to sing that to Beth last night.
Yeah,
Head East.
I thought I knew every song out there. I'm very familiar with 1970s songs. That one, I was like, Head East. I never even heard of of these people.
They were a one-hit wonder. Well, Beth, now that we've got our singing out, we got another commercial break, darling.
Head to commercial.
All right.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Peggle Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
Clay County Hospital is your life-saving connection. We have spent our lives preparing for when you need us. Quality professional care right at home. Our team will support you and your family so you never feel alone. We will make you feel welcome whether you need care, are visiting a loved one, or seeking employment. Clay County Hospital, professional care compassionate hearts.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting to work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Okay, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey.
Yes. So Beth, out of all the famous people that we've covered today,
yes,
who would you want to see? Not the gentleman. Let's forget Tracy Lawrence and those. Let's go with the Wadlow, Hoover, Sergeant York, Roy Rogers.
I think I would pick Sergeant York because I would like to know more about him, I suppose. And he's pretty cute.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
they would all be fascinating.
I'd like to sit down with Three Dog Night too.
Well, I would like to sit down with Three Dog Night too, and that's right up my alley. But I would say out of those, it would probably be Sergeant York for me too. All of them were wonderful men that came, but yeah, boy, his story would have to be fascinating. So
yeah, and the stuff that he's seen, and I mean, I don't know, some of that I'm sure we wouldn't want to hear about, but yeah, I think he would have a fascinating story to tell. Seemed like a really good guy.
Yeah, because like the people that go to war and see all that horrendous stuff, I mean, we can't even comprehend it sitting here in our own little world, and then to still have that. That persona to, want to go and speak to school children, school children. And so that would be wonderful. So yeah, I'm going to go with Sergeant York. And then my second would probably be Roy Rogers.
Yeah. I would like to meet Roy Rogers too.
Yeah. Now, is he the one who had Trigger?
He did. It was actually his own horse.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. And then he had a dog, a German Shepherd dog. And I think his name was, Shooter or something like that.
Okay,
that was in some of the stuff with him.
Yeah. So Trigger and Trigger's on. He's in a museum, isn't he? Somewhere. Where's is there a Roy Rogers museum?
Probably.
I think there's a Roy Rogers museum.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, to see the horse.
Yeah. So we are excited about presenting those to you, and we also like if there's people out there, you can reach us. Via Facebook. Beth and I are both on Facebook. And if there are stories that you might want for us to present, we would love that. I'm sure there's people out there that will know a lot more than Beth and I do.
Right.
We have our few people that we are going to go to about different parts.
We have some people that help with research. Donna Corey is one of them. Shout out to Donna. We love her at the library.
Yeah. Don Thomas is letting us have a lot of Rena Thomas's. She wrote, my goodness.
Oh, gosh. For years, this woman wrote for the newspapers. Yeah. And she wrote a column all about history.
Yep. So we'll redone that. We'd like to get a hold of Linda Davidson from Sailor Springs.
Yep, because we want to do a show about that. Touch on Sailor Springs.
Oh, Sailor Springs! Wow, I'm excited about that. And we are. What is it we're joining? Are we going to join the Historical Society?
Yeah, there's a genealogical society in Louisville on the corner. They're having a membership drive, and we're going to join that and maybe be able to dig into some more history stuff that we haven't had our hands on yet.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's going to be things that people. So we would love for you to reach out to us and just let us know. I don't know. This is our very first episode. This is the first time we've gone by ourselves. But I think we might even be able to have a mailbox here at Wabash.
Yeah, we're working on that. So.
Yeah, and
an email.
An email, so you can email us. And by us, I mean Beth, because I'm not very good at technology because there's a 12-year difference in our age.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you that my grandma is 93 years old and she emails.
Oh.
Just fine.
Wow, way to put a stake in my heart this morning. First episode, I got a zinger.
Actually, no. Stacey cuts herself short because she actually can do a lot of things that she says.
Yeah, I cut myself short because I don't want to do it. It's like when I mow the yard. I don't know. Like when I mow the yard, oh man, I can't believe I'm saying this. Jim's going to watch this probably. And I would mow the yard purposely horrible, and it would drive Jim crazy. So I haven't mowed the yard in years.
Oh.
I'm that girl.
You're that girl. Okay.
Yeah, I am.
I don't mow the yard either. So
I always kind of get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But we came across a fun thing, and it's an article that I found from Marina Thomas, and it's rules to live by. So at the end of our shows, we want to just ponder questions.
What year was the original list published, do you think?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I'm sure there's going to be a lot more.
Yeah, it's old. It's an old list. But it's still true today. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So our first rule to live by: give people more than they expect and do it cheerfully. Which I mean, our first rule right out of the chute is that's pretty important.
Yeah, give people more than they expect and do it cheerfully.
Yeah.
Our society struggles with that because I think that people look at it now as that they don't have to do more than what's expected, and they just look at it like, I don't owe anyone anything.
Right.
And so, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something we all should work toward.
Yeah, and I think it's something that we need to do daily. Because, like I said, we live in a crazy world right now.
Do you want some more water?
Yes, thank
I'll
you.
give you more than you expect.
Yeah, please give me some more than I expect there.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Did you do that cheerfully?
I did.
She did. Wonderful. But we live in it's kind of a tough world. I mean, we live with people who struggle daily, and and Beth and I are both Christian ladies, and we try. I try to smile everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I will fake it till I make it. You won't. When you see me out, I'm always going to smile. It is amazing.
Smile.
Just smiling at people.
I try to smile. I'm really smiling on the inside a lot of times. My face doesn't show it, but I am actually a very happy person.
Yeah,
Sometimes I just get hyper focused on what I'm doing, and I think I look grumpy.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
I'm pretty happy girl. I try to smile everywhere I go, and I just think that is definitely, and do it cheerfully, and don't give out of guilt.
Right. Do it cheerfully. We're all going to focus on that. Can you imagine if everybody went around doing this all day long? Like everybody was cheerful and everybody like did everything for oh, let me help you with that. Oh, let me do this for you.
Yeah.
Do
you know what my dream job is?
Walmart greeter.
Yes.
I guessed it.
Yes, of course you guessed it.
I seriously did not know that.
Being the Walmart greeter, I would be the best darn Walmart greeter ever. Is that or what's those little candy stripers at the hospital?
Oh, auxiliary member?
Auxiliary member. I think I do better at Walmart.
Probably.
I think I do, but that is my dream job. They don't even do Walmart greeting anymore,
Sometimes,
do they?
once in a while, there's somebody there.
Is there?
I don't know.
I remember. Do you guys remember the days when you'd walk in and remember the days? Gosh, I don't know how long Walmart's been in existence, but yeah, and you'd be like, "Hi, welcome to Walmart. How can I?" The only time I don't like being greeted like that is if I'm driving through fast food. Hi, welcome to Burger King. Would you like to try a value meal today with maybe extra fries and one more extra thing?
No, just stop talking and let me order. Yes.
Give me another one.
Yeah, you did. That doesn't sound cheerful.
I'm going to say that's probably the only time that I'm not cheerful.
You know when I'm not cheerful?
When
I'm driving.
Oh, she is a rageful driver, Beth is.
Yeah.
But we get where we're going, don't we?
And we get there fast.
Yeah. But we both have a little bit of road rage. But I don't think that counts.
When they wrote this article, they meant to do everything cheerfully except for driving. They didn't intend for you to drive cheerfully, I'm sure.
No, I'm
Surely
pretty sure.
not.
But yeah, that would be something awesome. But yes, so give people more than they expect and do it cheerfully. And it's the people that you don't know.
Right.
It's the people that you don't. We should always treat our spouses and our children and our parents. We should always treat them respectfully every day. But this is reaching out to somebody you don't know. Mm-hmm. And you just never know what anybody's going
yes
through.
and no, though. I almost feel like you kind of have to also focus that on your own family sometimes, because I'm guilty of knowing that they take for granted that I love them. So I can be short with them and not feel it. Like, so I can be short and I can be grumpy at home, and like, you get your teeth brushed and you go to bed, and say it kind of mean, I guess. Instead, I should do that a little more cheerfully.
You know what? I don't know, Beth. You and I may have to scratch these rules to live by.
You know what?
We've
Rule
got
number one, I fail. I fail.
Well,
I'm trying, though.
We learned a lesson.
We did. We learned something today.
We learned a lesson
Yes,
today.
so-
So we will bring you rules to live by on every episode. So we want you to ponder that. What's on your plans today?
Well, today I have to take my middle daughter to the orthodontist. So,
Fun.
Yes, she has been told for like the last 6 months that she will probably get her braces off in 2 months.
Oh, I'm
2 months, and then she goes back, and then they say probably in 2 months, and then
Oh no! So it's one of those.
If the orthodontist is watching the show, I love you guys, but she's so ready to get them off. Please, just take them off. It's just been this continuous thing.
Braces are tough.
So
braces are tough. Yeah.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, today she gets her braces off.
Yeah. My son Connor had braces, and oh gosh, I always felt so bad for him. Gosh, when they tighten them things up, they just, I don't know. I don't know. I never had braces.
Oh, I had braces, and I had them for a long time. I had them for like pushing 5 years. Yeah,
5
these
years.
days people don't wear braces that long. When my orthodontist, I didn't live in Clay County at the time, so I'm not knocking anybody in this area, but he was terrible, and he was fresh out of school, and he did not know what he was doing. And I was missing a tooth. Like, I was born without a specific tooth. And so they had to like shift all of my teeth over one spot to like make it look like my teeth do today. And it took him forever. And I went through a majority of my high school years with like a big gap on the side, like, looked like I, had lost a tooth, and I just really wasn't born with it. But anyway, I'm not a fan of braces.
And boy, they start them younger.
Yeah.
I see children with, I thought braces were a thing of, well, probably so you don't go through high school. It seems like once those baby teeth are knocked out, boy, if you got crooked teeth, braces are on there.
Yes. And I think I'm happy for my kids. They've all gotten them on fairly early. Yeah. And then had them off. Like my Carissa, my middle daughter now, she will have hers off by the time she starts high school.
That'll be good.
That's great.
Yeah, that is good. Well, so you're going to go to the orthodontist. I'm going to probably go home and clean toilet.
Oh, no.
It's a cleaning day for me.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, no, I'm not
it's
a fan
a cleaning
of that.
day. Yeah, I got a cleaning. I think I have a lady that comes and cleans every other week. And but yeah, so I'm that weirdo that basically cleans the house before the cleaning lady comes.
Oh.
There are a lot of us, like the bed's made, everything's picked up. It's like, oh, I don't want the cleaning lady to see that I didn't clean my toilet last week.
Oh.
I know, it's the craziest. I don't even understand myself.
Yeah, I don't have a cleaning lady, but if I did, I wouldn't do that.
But I do love that. But if I was rich, and I realized this, if I was rich, I wouldn't have a cook because I don't need all that stuff. But I would have fresh flowers in my house. My entire house would be full of flowers.
Oh, I love fresh flowers.
Gosh,
there were
me
some
too.
beautiful ones at Casey's yesterday, of all places.
Really?
I know. I went in there to pay for some gas, and they had these beautiful bouquets by the door. And it's post Valentine's Day, so they weren't there for that. I don't know. It wasn't on my list of places to pick up fresh flowers, but next time I do, I might think, wonder what they have at Casey's.
Well, I went into Huck's one time and thought I was picking up a fresh rose, and it was a pair of underwear. I'm not lying. I'm like, that's oh my gosh, this like had underwear. Like folded like a flower and like in a thingy. I'm like, oh my gosh! And usually I would sniff a flower. And I got home and it was just like, of course, the underwear were this big.
Oh yeah, I bet they probably wouldn't even fit my kids.
Yeah, it was funny. So yeah, I haven't picked up any gas station roses since 1989.
Okay. Now I'm tempted to go back to Casey's and do a double take of their roses.
That's fun. Well,
are they even real?
Beth, I don't know about you, but I had a great time today.
I did have a great time today. This is so much fun, and I hope that you guys liked it too. And I hope that you learned something, and you can be proud of our county. I mean, I think sometimes local people get a little down on Clay County. There's nothing here, nothing ever happens. We're boring. That's not true. You just have to open your eyes.
That's right.
And look around because it's here.
I'm Stacey Earlywine,
and I'm Beth Cooper,
and we are so glad you joined us for By the Way. We'll see you again later.
Bye bye.